August is Rural Broadband Month, and Connected Nation is working to ensure that all communities have access to broadband infrastructure as well as the skills needed to use the technology. Joining us now by phone is Connected Nation Director of Digital Inclusion, Heather Gate. Thanks so much for joining us, Heather. And let's talk about digital inclusion and why it's so important this day and age, especially in rural areas.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Digital inclusion consists of activities and programs that are necessary for all individuals and communities, particularly the vulnerable individuals in our communities, to access affordable broadband service, have access to digital skills training, and also to ensure that vulnerable populations have the skills necessary for them to adequately access tools and resources that are available in the digital world. Now, we at Connected Nation prescribe to the notion that everyone belongs in a connected nation, and that is because broadband is the foundation on which we operate our businesses, we educate our children, we connect with our government, and we work and play as well. And so when you think about rural communities, digital inclusion is especially important for very many reasons. And some of these reasons have a lot to do with communities operating the way they want to without having to lose people who have to migrate to urban areas to look for jobs.
Yeah.
Now, with a connected rural area, people can stay at home and telecommute. You can essentially work for a company while taking care of your family in the community that you want to be in. You can be an entrepreneur from home and have the opportunity to offer your product or service to people not only in your rural community, but across the world if you wanted to. And so it's especially important for rural areas in this day and age where children and families are being separated by the need for jobs.
Okay, now the job market itself is competitive. We know that here in the United States. And for kids in rural communities who don't get that access to the technology, the same access that they're getting in some of these urban areas, it almost seems unfair. How does digital inclusion impact students and teachers?
Okay, so the children that are being born today, they're born, some people will label them as digital natives. They're born in an age where technology is absolutely essential for them. And unfortunately, in some communities, the very foundation, which is the broadband itself, is a challenge to access. And so that becomes a challenge for teaching children because today, the ability to access broadband in the classroom and in the home is absolutely critical to a student's ability to succeed in this world. And so, particularly when you have teachers struggling to ensure that they can teach the kids the skills they need because they're still struggling to have the speed that they need in the classroom, the bigger challenge in those communities in rural areas that suffer from lack of adequate speed is that you as a teacher don't have the opportunity to give the assignments to kids that you want to.
Yeah.
Because if the kid does not have access to high-speed internet at home, then that becomes another challenge for you. So as a teacher, you almost have to adjust the way you teach in order to accommodate those inequalities.
Wow. Well, we really appreciate what you're doing, not just for the students, but also for the teachers across rural America to even that playing field. We look forward to staying connected with you. Connected Nation Director of Digital Inclusion, Heather Gate, thanks for joining us. I wish we had more time, but we will talk again in the future.